Scorpio, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and I want to welcome you back if you've subscribed to my channel. And if you're new to the channel, I also want to welcome you because this is a fairly new channel. I started it in December 2023, so I'm glad you found me and I want to welcome you aboard. So in today's reading, we're going to be doing some inner child healing. And the inner child is a part of us that has been hidden away for years. And the inner child holds our belief systems, our memories, and all the big emotions that we had as a child that would have been, too big for us to handle. And so this inner child in us holds them. They're emotions like fear and shame and grief and hopelessness. So this unhealed part of us, our inner child, can cause a lot of problems if we don't pay attention to them. And they're that part of us that will cause us to seek, love in all the wrong places. They're the part of us that will attract people into our spaces that, will continue to abandon us or sabotage our goals. And it's just kind of left us going like, I don't understand. Why are these patterns keep showing up in my life? And it's because we have unhealed parts of us, our inner children, that need to be healed. So it really is important that we make an effort to understand the needs of our inner child so that we can start to calm and lessen the intrusions that they're having in our daily life and all of our relationships, whether they be intimate relationships, people at work even, siblings, family members. And so we need to start to build this relationship with our inner child. And we do that by having a conversation with them, really, to start to find out, what do they need? What do they need to heal? Well, in order to heal, our inner children need to be listened to, they need to be heard, and they need to be understood. And they need you to make that known to them. So as you start to begin to build this relationship with them and begin to listen to them and understand what their needs are, it really is something that becomes an ultimate form of self-care for yourself, because you're meeting your own needs as you meet their needs. So, and it really makes you the priority in all of your relationships with everyone. And so let's begin this conversation with your inner child. Now, when I decided to sit down and, what decks could I use for this reading that would really make our inner children feel safe enough to come out and speak to us in this reading? And so I found a tarot deck that was a recent one that was that I purchased, and it's Radleigh Valentine's Animal Guides, because I thought that I wanted to pick a deck that had animals in it, because all little kids love animals, and so I wanted something that they could relate to. So I'm gonna start with that deck, and then I'm gonna clarify that with the Rider-Waite deck. And then I'm going to end with an oracle card, and it's going to be a spirit animal for us, right? So it'll be Colette Baron-Reid's spirit animal deck, which I love. And so it's really going to be focused around animals. In that, like I said, it's really going to, I want your inner child to feel comfortable in a setting where they'll come out and they're going to speak to us. And so in this reading, what we're going to do is first of all, we're going to ask your inner child, what does your inner child need right now? And then we're going to ask them and then we're going to look at how is this affecting your daily life, your relationships right now? And then finally, we're going to look at, well, how can you help your inner child heal right now? And that's the important part, right? And then I'll end it with a couple videos for you from my other channel called Carol Cares. And those are going to be videos that are going to really get you going and on your way to starting to connect and build a relationship with your inner child. And so Scorpio, let's begin your reading, and we're going to start off with Radleigh Valentine's deck here, and so I did pre-shuffle it when I came on. It's kind of a hard deck to shuffle, actually. So let's see. Oh, here comes our first card. All right, so you have the Nine of Water, and that's going to be what your inner child needs right now, is the Nine of Water, which is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups. And then we're going to ask, how is this affecting you? How is this affecting your daily life, your relationships? This need right here, this Nine of Cups. I got a couple cards here, so I'm going to pick the top one. And this is the Strength card. And we're going to use this next one as, how can you help your inner child heal right now? And it's the Emperor. Oops. Ooh, it's the Emperor card. Things are falling everywhere. Okay, so let me make sure you can see these. I think so. Yes. Okay, so I guess I didn't mention what animals you had. That's important. The Nine of Water, you have the Pomeranian. Maybe some of you out there have a Pomeranian, a little dog. And the Strength card is, you have the Lion and the Lamb. The Lion and the Lamb. And then your Emperor card is the Little Mouse. The dear mouse, the little mouse. All right, let's begin. All animals that kids love, right? Just beautiful animals. Little, our inner children love animals. Okay, so let's clarify this. We're going to start to clarify the Nine of Water, the Nine of Cups here, which tells me this is going to be about emotions, probably, if this comes out, which doesn't surprise me. I did say that, our inner children hold our big emotions of shame and fear and grief and hopelessness. Okay, one more shuffle and then we'll start. Okay, Tarot, can you give me a clarification? I'm going to ask for 3 cards for the Nine of Water. We got one here. And we got 2 more. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands as clarification. We have the 5 of Wands, so 2 Wands cards already for the dog. And the Ace of Swords in reverse for our Nine of Cups. Okay, the Strength card. 3 cards for the Strength card, please. Two more cards. There we go. I like that. It came out nicely. Okay, we have, that was in reverse, the 4 of Cups. The Emperor in reverse. And the 3 of Swords. 3 cards for this Emperor, please. Mr. Emperor, who is our mouse today. The 2 of Wands. More Wands over here. 2 more cards, please. 1 and 2. Okay, so we have 1 is the 6 of Swords. Oh, we have 2 here. Ace of Cups. And the Hermit card in reverse. Okay, so you got 4 cards here at the end. All right, so let's begin. Just want to make sure you can see everything here. It's hard for me to see. Don't have my glasses on. And it's hard to see with the sun. So, all right, the 9 of Water, or the 9 of Cups. So, speaks me about, this is about what your inner child needs right now. The inner child, the 9 of Cups, tells me that, it's the one card. 9 is right before the 10, so it's not the completion. But the 9 of Cups is your inner child needs to arrive at a place where they feel comfortable, they feel safe, and cared for in regards to their emotions. And so they're looking for, I'm already hearing here that they're looking to, they need a space. They need a place where they feel comfortable enough to reveal some of the emotions that they need to express. And let's look at what's some clarification for this Nine of Water, this safe space they need to express their emotions. I can see here that there's been the Nine of Wands comes up for me. First of all, the Nine of Wands is someone that's really been through a lot, been through a battle here. And so your younger part of you holds probably, some trauma. We all have trauma from on a continuum. So some of us have some trauma, some of us have a lot of trauma. I have complex trauma myself, and I'm going to be honest with you, when I first started my own healing journey 7 years ago, and that was a really intense healing journey. I've been healing all my life, but I didn't know how much trauma I had. And so this card comes up and it says, you have some trauma that your inner child has. And when your inner child is holding trauma from our experiences as a child, it also holds these big emotions with it that need to be expressed. And so it's almost like if you can picture a child with all this trauma, right, and how it's set up this boundary behind them. And so your inner child is really afraid and it holds a lot of fear. And that's why, I think it started off with the Nine of Cups, where you need to be in a safe place so that they can share with you, so that you can start to build this relationship with them. And the Five of Wands comes up next. And the Five of Wands is the, I call this the ego card. It's a real conflict of, when you start to compare yourself to other people, look at them, they're comparing their big sticks here. They're not fighting. They're just saying mine's bigger than yours. They're comparing each other's. And so I see here that there's some real unworthiness here that they're holding. Maybe some shame that goes with that. Because that's what my Five of Wands is. It's that unworthy card. It's that when you judge yourself. Maybe you're very judgmental of yourself. And you look around, you scroll on social media, and that's where you get your sense of who you are. And you compare yourself to people, right? And, there's an inner child in here that holds that shame, that unworthiness that you're feeling. And that's why you do that. So you got to heal that part of you. And the Ace of Swords is in reverse here. The sword for me is all about authenticity. The Suit of Swords talks about who we are, what we believe about ourselves, the mental beliefs about ourselves. And it's in reverse here, so it's blocked. And so because you compare yourself to other people with this unworthiness and this shame that you have, that your inner child holds, that is what you project out into your daily life and with relationships to other people. But the swords here is coming in saying, your inner child holds your authentic self. They know who you are. And once you start healing that, this sword here, it's going to turn upright. And you're going to start to find out, who you really are under all that unworthiness. And under all those traumatic experiences. So, yeah, there's a need to get some safety, to be comfortable expressing these emotions, in particular unworthiness. And so, how is this affecting you? How is it affecting your relationships? You get the Strength card here. The Strength card is a beautiful card. The Strength card comes in. It says, you have inner strength. You have inner strength to get in contact with your inner child, to start building this relationship, to start feeling some of these big emotions that your inner child is holding, to start to face some of this trauma that happened to you when you were younger. You have it. And that's the first message here that comes out here. So I'm seeing that you're a very strong person. You've been through a lot, but you have the strength here. And so let's continue in how it's affecting your inner relationships. But what's happened here is, if you look at this particular picture, first of all, there's this individual here, and it's in reverse, and has these three emotions here. And in your life today, in your daily life, you're very much a person who has decided that, I have these emotions and not really wanting to touch them, right? You see how he has his arms up like this, and it's like, no, thanks, I'm good. No. And there's just that fear of wanting to go there, right, and touch these emotions. But the universe wants to offer you, it's like another cup on offer here. Another emotion says, here's another chance. Here's a gift from the universe and says, here you go. It's time for you to start feeling these emotions. But there's big resistance here. They're blocked. Like you just don't want to touch them right now, even though you have the strength to go inwards. But you're not really wanting to touch them. So when we're really closed off to our inner child and we don't want to hear what our inner child is saying, when we haven't started to build that relationship with our inner child, then we're really closed off to the emotions of our inner child, which are the big ones that we need to get to. And unfortunately, those emotions can spill out, right, into all of our relationships. And the Emperor card is sitting right behind the reason why. This is the reason why, the Emperor, why you have not allowed yourself to really take a deep dive and take that other cup and start to feel those big emotions like shame that you need to feel here. And there's a lot of grief that will be there also. And I'm sure there's hopelessness for sure. The Emperor card's the reason. The Emperor card is in reverse. And it's in reverse because there's a block here of, looking at this. But this is where I'm going to turn it around for you. And I'm going to say, Mr. Emperor, he sits here on his chair. And he's very cemented to his chair, right? He's been there for a long time. He's old. And he rules the city behind him. I don't know if you can see these kind of like mountains or something that's sitting behind him. He's the ruler. He's the ruler of the society that sits behind him. He's very firm. He's number 4 in the major arcana. So he's very much solid, very much firm in his belief systems, right? He represents the belief systems of society. Somewhere along the line as a child, you were told, you have these belief systems that it was unsafe. It was unsafe to feel because your inner child is looking for safety to feel. You were told it was unsafe to feel as a child. And that's why this is you, where you're going, no thanks, I'm not feeling. Because you may have been told that anger is bad. You maybe have told that you're a sucky baby and so you can't grieve. You may have been told, to really mature, or behave properly. And so just things like that where you just don't feel safe in your own skin, safe to be a child, safe to feel. And so it's really a time with this Emperor card to really start to question now, because he was in reverse, but to start to turn around and question, what belief systems do I have about my unworthiness? Why was I told I was less than? What was I told about expressing emotions? Why do I need a safe place to express them? Why is my inner child needing that? Because the 3 of Swords is sitting right behind everything here about how it's affecting you and your relationships. You're sitting with a lot of pain under here. And, you've had these 3 swords. 3 swords put through your heart. Because you were told, society told you that it wasn't safe for you to feel. And so you put it all away, put all this pain, you buried it, right? You buried all of it. But you have the Strength card here. Somehow you've made it through. You've made it this far. And you've made it through this far by burying all of this, right? And it takes a lot of strength. And it takes a hell of a lot of energy to keep pushing all of that down when it's wanting to come up. And that's why it spills into all of our relationships. And so, how can you help your inner child heal right now? What does your inner child need from you? And the first card that comes out here is the Emperor card. Again. So just notice that. So your Emperor is in reverse here. We talked about how we want to turn him around. Well, how do you heal? And I apologize, but I've already explained it. You need to start to look at some of the ways that society has told you, or what belief systems you have that society has told you about feeling, so because you were told not to feel, you have belief systems here, and you need to start to question some of those. And then the Two of Wands comes up here, and the Two of Wands is like, how do you heal? Well, this is the Two of Wands. This is the start. This is the start of a new direction. So we're looking at here, how do you start to build your relationship with your inner child, right? How do you start? Well, this is the card about going in a new direction. Getting a feel, you're getting a nudge, you're getting a feel for, something else out there. And maybe it's your inner child that's kind of nudging you. I call this kind of like my nudging card, where there's something there kind of saying, somebody's kind of nudging at you. Think of a cat. We're talking about animals here, where they're scratching at the door, and that's their way of saying, I want in. Something's wanting in here. Something's wanting to change. Something wants to take a new direction here. And, right behind it is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is this card of this gondolier man, I call him, and he's taking this woman and this child in safer waters. And you can see these safe waters on one side, and then these rough waters over here. So he's getting he's getting this woman and child to safety. And I talked about safety at the beginning, and it's not because I saw this card, but it's just funny how it came through that you needed some safety here to feel. And so what do you need to do for you, for your inner child? What do you need to do for your inner child? How do you need to get yourself safe? Maybe you're not sitting in a safe relationship right now. Maybe you're sitting in, one of those relationships that you continue to be in, because this is the type of pattern that you have, where you're with people that just aren't, they're not good for you, and they're not giving you the love you need. And when that happens, it re-traumatizes us. We're kept in that same place that we were when we were a child. And so this card comes out and says, you need to get to safety. You need to get safety. You need to get to a place where you can be safe, so that your inner child can come out, and you can start to build this relationship once you start to listen to what they have to say. And here's a new beginning for you. It's a beautiful. Do you remember how we had this Ace of Cups back here? I said where it said you have the three cups here in reverse. Sorry, not in reverse. The three cups here, and you're just kind of crossing your arms, going, "No thanks. I've learned not to feel those big emotions." And I said this was an offer from the universe here. Well, guess what? Here it is again. Here's the Ace of Cups. Here's a new offer to you from the universe, and says, here's a chance for you to start to heal. Here's a chance for you to start to listen to your inner child, to hear them, and to understand them, to find out what they need, and to feel some of their big emotions. You need to feel those big emotions that your inner child is holding right now, like shame, that they couldn't feel back then. But it's up to you as an adult to reparent and to feel those emotions for them now, because you're an adult. You can handle this. You're an adult. You can handle this. Your inner child couldn't when she or he was younger, right? Or they couldn't handle it. And the last card is, how do you heal it? This is the Hermit card. And it's blocked because it's telling me it's not happening yet. But what you do need to do is, the Hermit is the one that shines a light on, what needs to come up from our shadow. What does your inner child want to talk to you? What do they want to say? It's time to go inwards. It's time to take that strength that you are, that you have, and to go inwards and start to feel and build that relationship with your inner child, because right now it's blocked. What a beautiful reading for you, Scorpio. I want to end your reading with a spirit animal card. And so I think what I'm going to do for you before I pull your card is I want to leave you with two very important playlists that I have, which I use, which I made, and they're from my other channel, Carol Cares. And they're two tools that I use to get in touch with my inner child. The first one is grounding, because it looks like you need to get yourself into a very safe place. And that's very important. And grounding is very important. You need to learn how to ground your body, ground yourself, ground your mind, so that your inner child can start to speak with you. And the only way that you're going to heal your inner child is to start writing to them, journaling to your inner child, because that brings up all your buried belief systems that you have about yourself, your emotions, and everything that your inner child's feeling, and it brings it to the conscious. And when you write, that's what happens. It brings it to the conscious. It brings it forward. It gives your inner child a voice when you start to journal with them. And that's what they need. Your inner children need a voice. And so let me leave you with a card here. I have two of them. I have the Turkey Spirit, which is give with gratitude and grace. And you got the Koi Fish Spirit. There is always enough. And so I'm going to look at these two for you. So number 61, the Turkey Spirit. I'll just read a bit of it here. I won't read the entire thing. Turkey Spirit. Turkey's spirit message for you is that you always have the potential for manifesting a rich reality. For the turkey represents generosity and a celebration of abundance through giving to others. Give freely without expectation and you shall receive, for the manifestation of abundance is happening right now. So I want to talk about this giving, because I think that what it's really saying here is that you need to, give to your inner child. And once you start giving to your inner child, you will receive from them. They will talk to you and they will tell you what they need. 36 is there's always enough here. Koi fish. The koi fish who grows big within a small pond reminds us that within each of us is the potential for prosperity. The law of abundance ensures that prosperity is our natural state. So regardless of temporary outer conditions, you can call in prosperity and magnetically attract the opportunities and abundance you need. The message of Koi Spirit is to begin to generate wealth within, with deliberate intentions, no matter how small your pond may seem, and appreciate abundance wherever you see it. And this is so important because you begin in small little steps. Small little steps, because every little step is going to count. So take care, Scorpio, and I'll talk soon. Bye-bye.